Alright guys, back out here day 2 at the FL Pullers Zellwood Super Pull. And we went to Napa this morning. I got some fittings and a hydraulic hose made to fix our water line issue. We got to get this old one off of here. And I need a 9/16. Oh boy. We're going to get this old water line off here that feeds that gauge and get the new one put on here. We're going to have to run back to freaking Harbor Freight. We were just there this morning. And try to get some air pressure regulator and gauges to set the pressure on that map sensor on the pulling truck. We're gonna get this thing cleaned up. Got lots of stuff to do just to make a 10-second hook. Lots of work. All right, see if we can get this thing off of here. Well, it's right in there. You can't hardly get to nothing, ain't it?
Looks like it.
Shoot. There we go. I think we got some good cutters somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, we do. In that cardboard box.
That cardboard box?
That cardboard.
Which that cardboard box are you talking about?
One over there on the trailer.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
You find that microphone you lost yet?
Oh.
Shoot, I thought wrong, didn't I? Jeez.
Some thick stuff.
3,000 PSI rated. It's metal. It's metal.
There goes up better.
Harbor Freight, boy, I'll return these things. There we go. All right. One old hose out. Got some new fittings right here. Some Teflon tape right here. Teflon tape. Damn it, my fingers hurt now, boy. I burned them on the garden tractor. Little blisters there. Feel great.
Gotta take care of them.
Fine. Have to soak them in cider later. You don't get it, do you? Okay, I'm sure everybody. Ryan didn't get that joke. I'm sure everybody else did.
Went right over my head, I guess.
Pretty much. All right, I got this fitting nice and tight. How it should have been from the get-go. We're gonna have to rewire all these. Like the wire needs to be redone in this thing. Wiring in those other tractors, the little Viper tractor made my fingers melt off because the wiring is so crappy. So rewire these things and replumb some of the hydraulic hoses on them. It'll be just cherry. That right there. This thing will be like $1 million machine now. So we couldn't find any cutting oil that wasn't an aerosol can, so we went to Harbor Freight and got some. We're gonna fill this cup up, and after you let it sit for a little while, the air leaves the cutting oil and it turns into a liquid. So sit there and stir it up, just cook it up. Starts turning into a regular oil, and then we'll dump it in the water tank. It's at about 2 or 3 tablespoons per gallon. Should be good to go. See it turn into oil there? And a little bit of Coca-Cola. You want to try it? Tastes good. So while we were messing with our oil, I sent Nick, he found a screwdriver right here because I pulled the gauge out and put that new fitting on there. Instead of having 1/8" pipe, I put some JIC fittings on there. So whenever we ever have to take this thing apart, it's just a matter of pulling them out really easy. So, and this little screw is what holds this gauge in there. And it was missing one, so we're putting one more back in it. Hopefully I don't drop this thing. If I drop this, it's over. See how tiny it is? It's just over. All right, wish me luck. Ooh, it's a good thing we're putting Mahindra stuff on this. This crappy Agco Alice freaking plastic. Ooh. Alright, I'll go to the other side and try to put the screw in because there's no room on this side. So all of our bubbles are about gone out of our cutting oil. You can see it turned back into oil again. So we'll pour that right there into the water tank. Let that stuff mix in with that water. Turn into a white milky substance. You want the rest of it?
No, it's not eggnog.
I mean, we could say it is. We are definitely low on water. We need to go find more. Oh, there's some water right there. We'll go to the ladies over there and ask for some more water. Get the hood closed on it, top her off with some diesel. We should be ready to rip tonight. We got that new water pressure hose plumbed and ran up in there. This thing really just needs a serious rebuild. I know we bought this thing. We want to go sled pull some, but this wiring is so old and the technology in this thing is so old that if we were to update the turbo, go through the engine, freshen it, and do some stuff to it, I feel like this thing could potentially be a good running tractor. Like a burp rag shop towel. So we're getting this thing put back together and let's go find some water. Damn it. Yeah. I know, it gotta look nice and pretty. Shoot. Be a slick wheelie going down the track. Alright, so we've rigged up some stuff to test the regulator that goes between the cylinder head and the map sensor here, and it was set at like 20 psi, so we're bumping it up to 30 to see if that's going to make any changes for us going down the track and give it more fuel. And maybe we're going to pick a higher gear this time because I think the truck was shutting down last night because it was hitting the rev limiter and just flat out didn't like it. So we don't know. I made some phone calls to some friends and they gave me some really awesome insight. Thanks, Ryan. We're gonna get this thing bolted back in here and see what it does and hope for the best. All of our friends are here giving us some amazing support. Ryan and Blake and Officer Dougal and my wife and kids. So we're having a good night tonight.
You're doing a good job, Ryan. Yeah, good job. Done did the whole truck.
We've got guys from up by Green Bay, Wisconsin. Waldo, Wisconsin. We've got them from all the way up north. We drove down here and spent some nice weather.
So that was a really great trip down the track. I think we're either injecting too much water or we just picked too high of a gear that time. So definitely have got some bugs to work out on this tractor. I'm giving a lot more beans than what a lot of these other guys, getting a lot more beans than what the fella that used to drive it for Brian did. So we got a lot of kinks to work out, but we're gonna figure it out. I didn't want to buy a picture perfect tractor ready to rip every single time. I wanted to buy something that we can work on and take you guys along on our journey. So I'm still pumped about it. The tractor ran good. We're gonna figure all this out together. Next, we're gonna be getting the semi out there and getting it ready to rip.
Make some noise, Selwood. Bring up those RPMs. Build that boost, Bruce. Build that boost. Let it. Well, like I said, Bruce is still working on that semi truck. He just got that slowing trigger force pass on it, so still figuring out 200.57. Not the pass we're looking for. He had a good strong pass with it last night, but it sounded like they were chattering a little bit.
All right, guys, a tough break on that run. We were like 50 foot out of the hole, and I think the power divider on the rear end broke. You see in the clip right here, we're gonna roll in just a second, where it's pulling really hard, the front end's grabbing, and it just stops, and then the RPMs jump up, and it doesn't go nowhere, so we let off. In the first run out, I didn't give it enough beans. I was trying to find the sweet spot underneath 3,000 RPMs where it doesn't kick off, so we have some issues we got to figure out on both truck and tractor. So we're going to get this stuff loaded up. We'll get it back to the shop, and we'll tear in and see what's going on with it.
I would get my camera out for this as well.
Well, boys and girls, it's definitely a tough break. I think it might be just a broken axle. I'm not sure. I think what we're gonna do is we'll get to the shop, jack it up either tomorrow or Monday, and just diagnose the issue. I noticed whenever I set the front brakes on the front of the truck to where they do burnout and stuff, and kind of just let it sit there and turn, the back two tires were turning and the right tire was turning. So this is not full locking rears, they are open rear ends. So if something is broke, maybe this is the time for us to put full locking rear ends in it. But for now, everything's loaded up. Let's get the little tractors loaded up.
Tires are stuck in the grooves.
Oh. Well, I ain't gonna do much good. Ryan, did you win a trophy for your tractor pulling?
Dude, look at that thing.
Second
See,
place.
it says spectacular.
They mix it up. It's supposed to be 22nd place.
No, that's definitely.
This man went in there
second.
and begged for a trophy. He's like, I want a trophy so bad.
Yeah, let me just get one. What do I did? I walked out with the smallest one they had.
You used to that, aren't you?
No,
Oh, you always finish second, don't you?
first. If you're not first, you're last.
So shout out to Nick for pulling this third member out of here. We discovered that the spider gears are okay and the splines inside there are all still in good shape. As it turns out, we just needed to swap an axle shaft in it instead of pulling all the way apart. But while we have it apart, I'm gonna rip that carrier you see right there in half and weld them spider gears up, so we'll have one welded axle. And really, we need to go ahead and do the other one, but I just don't know if we feel like ripping these things all the way apart. We'll see what happens when we get back in town. Ryan and I flew out to Oregon for a few days to see our friends over at Icebox where the radiator came from. But here's the update on the pulling truck. We're going to get this thing fixed up and hopefully go find some more sled pulling this weekend at the Osceola County Fair in Kissimmee, Florida. Hope to see you all there. Peace out.